Hello everyone. Let me introduce the accessories of the FGCD A600CT tester. Firstly, this is the main tester. This is the battery charging and discharge cable. The red cable represents positive. The black cable represents negative. This is the CAN communication wire. This end is connected to the device end, and this end is connected to our battery pack's CAN connector. This is the AC power cord. This end connects to the power distribution box, and the other end connects to the device's AC power input socket. First of all, the AC power cord consists of 4 parts. This is the P grounding wire. This red wire corresponds to phase A, and there is a wire label on it. The other red wire corresponds to phase C, also with a wire label on it. Then these 2 black wires correspond to phase B. When connecting, we need to connect both black wires to the phase B of the power distribution box. This is the introduction of the AC power cord and distribution box connection. So these are the accessories. Now, let me introduce the operating panel of the main tester. The one at the top is the Wi-Fi interface, which is used to enhance wireless network signal. The second is a reserved antenna interface, mainly used for data collection of lead-acid batteries. Then the third one is a wired network port for connecting to Ethernet. The bottom is the USB interface. The upper one is used to connect to the USB disk for data copy. The lower one is used for upgrade and debugging of the software program. This is the 7-inch LCD touchscreen. We will operate the whole test process on the screen. Under the screen, here is a built-in data printer for printing out test data. The one on the left is the DC circuit breaker. The one on the right is AC circuit breaker. We need to turn it on to power the tester after the cable connections are finished. This is the BMS communication port for connecting with the BMS communication wire. The bottom 2 ports correspond to the positive and negative battery terminals. The red one corresponds to the battery pack's positive pole. The black one corresponds to the battery pack's negative pole. The last one is the AC power input socket. After the AC power cord is connected, close the AC circuit breaker to start the tester. So, this is an introduction to the device operating panel. Now, let's connect the high voltage test cables first. Red represents positive. Black represents negative. When connecting, we first connect the device's end. There is a white dot at the plug of the test cable. The white dot faces up. Then plug it in the positive port and tighten it clockwise. The same goes for the black cable. Tighten it clockwise. Make sure the cable connections are reliable. Then connect the BMS communication wire. Connect the device's end first. There is a groove. Align it with the groove of the BMS communication port and tighten it clockwise. There is also a groove on the plug of the AC power cord. Align it with the groove of the AC input socket. And tighten it clockwise. Check and ensure the connection is reliable. Then connect the other end of the BMS communication wire to the BMS connector of the battery pack. Connect the red test cable to the positive terminal of the battery pack. Make sure the connection is reliable. Also, connect the black test cable to the negative terminal of the battery pack. Make sure the connection is reliable. The AC power cord connection is the same as introduced earlier. There are 4 types of wires. The red one with the phase A label connects to phase A of the distribution box. The red one with the phase C label connects to phase C of the distribution box. The 2 black wires with the phase B label connect to phase B of the power distribution box. The black wire with the PE label connects to the grounding terminal of the distribution box. After the AC power cord connection, turn on the AC power switch to power on the tester. Power on the tester to enter the main menu page, which has 5 functions including discharge test, charge test, data management, cycle test, and system setting. First, we click the setting icon. Select CAN communication in cell acquisition mode and click OK. Then set the CAN baud rate and click Exit when finished. Now let's carry out the demonstration of the discharge test first. Click the discharge icon on the main menu to enter the discharge test page. Then click Parameter. Let's set the basic parameters of the battery pack first. This is the battery number, cell voltage, rated capacity, and cell quantity. Then the following is the setting of the discharge parameters. There are 2 discharge modes for selection, including constant current and constant power. Now I will choose the constant current mode and click OK. Then the second is for setting the discharge current, and the third one is discharge capacity. The fourth is the discharge time, and the fifth is the setting of the lower limit of string voltage. The sixth is the setting of cell voltage lower limit. The seventh is the number of cells reaching the cell low limit. After turning on the switch, once one of the cells reaches 3 volts during the test, the device will automatically stop discharging. The discharge capacity, discharge time, string low limit, and cell low limit are test stop thresholds. When one of the stop thresholds is reached during the test process, the equipment will automatically stop the test. After setting the test parameters, click Save. Or we can click Battery List to directly select the saved discharge parameter configuration to perform a test. Select the parameters and click OK. Press Save to save the parameter settings. Then we need to close the DC breaker on the panel of the tester. After closing the DC breaker, the test page will display the battery string voltage. Click Cell Info to view the specific voltage value of each cell. Then click Cell Blocks and select Next or Previous to view more cell voltages in bar chart format. The last one is a curve used for viewing the changes in string voltage, current, capacity, and cell voltage in the test process. Click Start on the discharge test page and confirm OK. The tester will start the discharge test. This is the 10 ampere discharging current that we just set in the parameter settings. The device will discharge the battery pack with the current of 10 ampere. If one of the discharge time, string low limit, cell low limit, test capacity, or limit cell quantity is reached, the device will automatically stop the test. This is the stop and pause button. Click Stop and the test automatically stops. Next, let's introduce the charging function. Click the charge icon to enter the charge test page. Click Parameter to set charging parameters. This part is for setting basic information about the battery pack, which is similar to the discharge parameters we introduced earlier. The following is for setting charging parameters. There are charge voltage, charge current, end current, charge time, string up limit, cell up limit, and the number of cells reaching the cell up limit. We can set them according to the actual situation of the battery pack, or directly select the charging parameters by clicking the battery list. After setting parameters, click Save to enter the charge test page. Before starting the test, we also need to close the DC breaker. Then we can view cell voltage by switching the cell info and cell blocks items, and the curve charts used for viewing the changes in string voltage, current, capacity, and cell voltage during charging will be shown in the test curve item. Now we click Start on the charge test page. The system will start charging with the charging parameters we just set. When the end current, charge time, charge capacity, string up limit, or cell up limit is reached, the device will automatically stop charging. Now the tester is charging the battery pack with a current of 10 ampere. Click the stop icon, and the device will automatically stop charging. Next, I will introduce the cycle test function. The cycle is equal to the activation test. It is mainly used for testing the capacity of the battery pack. It supports performing cyclic charging and discharging tests to the battery pack. It can also verify the current capacity of the battery pack. Click Cycle on the main menu to enter the cycle test page. And then we click Parameter to set cycle test parameters. For the cycle test, we need to set the discharge, charge, and cycle parameters. For the setting of discharge and charge tests, please refer to the previous introduction. Now we will mainly explain the parameter setting of the cycle test. If the battery pack to be tested is fully charged, we can set the cycle to start from the discharge. If the battery pack is insufficient in charge, we can set the cycle to start from the charge. The second parameter is used for setting the number of cycles. For example, here we set it to twice. The third one is the cooling time after charging. This is a rest time before starting the next discharge test. And the fourth one is the cooling time after discharging. It is a rest time before starting the next charge test. We can set the cooling time in 1 or more minutes. Additionally, you can also select the saved cycle parameter configuration in the battery list to perform the test. Once the settings are correctly finished, click Save and close the DC breaker to complete the preparation. The string voltage will be shown on the cycle test page. We can view cell voltage by switching the cell info and cell blocks items. And the curve charts is used for viewing the changes in string voltage, current, capacity, and cell voltage. Now we click Start and confirm OK to start the cycle test. During the test, the system will automatically enter the next test step when one of the test stop thresholds is reached. For example, if the stop threshold of the discharge test is reached, the system will switch to the next charge test. After reaching the charging stop threshold, the system will switch to the next discharge test, and the tester will have a rest process according to the preset cooling time before starting the next test. Click the stop icon to stop the cycle test. After testing is finished, we can print the test data. Click Data on the main menu. Select the battery pack number that we want to print. Choose Discharge, Charge, and Cycle options under the Data List item. Then all of the test records of the selected battery pack will be shown. Select the test data we want to print, and click the Print icon. The tester will print out the selected data for us to view. There are some battery packs basic info and cell voltage details. When copying test data, insert the USB disk into the USB port. Select the data and click Download via USB to export data. Once the screen prompts that the data is successfully copied to the USB disk, we can upload the data to the PC for intuitively viewing and analysis. If we want to send the test data to an email box, install the antenna on the panel when the wireless network signal is not good. Click Setting on the main menu. Click Advanced. Enter the password 123456 to connect Wi-Fi. Click WLAN. Select an available network and input the password to finalize the Wi-Fi connection. After the Wi-Fi connection, click the Exit icon to back to the previous page. Click Exit again to back to the main menu page. Now click Data. Select the specific data you want to send to your email box. You can select all or select some of them. Then click Send Test Data. Enter 1 or 3 email addresses to receive data. Click Send, and the screen will prompt a message of successfully sending. At this time, the selected test data has already been sent to corresponding emails.